New York Times, while you're doing that, recommending the DNC investigate its own people and the FBI investigate everyone else, don't ask the FBI to actually investigate their own malfeasance in the setting up of Mike Flynn because he knew what was happening the whole time. Don't you worry about that. Disgusting. What a rag. Pathetic. The New York Times now regarding the Biden Tara Reade allegations, which I addressed with President Trump on the interview. The New York Times is pretending there's some independent media outlet, and they want investigations. Look at this hilarious story from the New York Times. Investigate Tara Reade's allegations. Why is this hilarious? Not because the allegations aren't funny. These are serious allegations that Joe Biden may have sexually assaulted someone. Joe Biden's entitled to the presumption of innocence here. What's hilarious is the New York Times response. You may say, damn, what's the problem? Even the New York Times is calling for investigations. Clearly, Joe, the New York Times, which is all in for the FBI investigation of Brett Kavanaugh with the Blasey Ford allegations that had no evidence at all. Clearly, this is about an FBI investigation, right? Joe, I mean, they're just being principled, right? The New York Times. Well, let's go to the Times piece. Yeah, sure. So they want the FBI should move to investigate the matter swiftly and thoroughly with the full cooperation of the Biden campaign. No, that's not what that says. I'm kidding. Here's the actual quote from the New York Times. The Democratic National Committee should move to investigate the matter swiftly and thoroughly with the full cooperation of the Biden campaign. So just to be clear, when they're baseless, evidence-free allegations against someone associated with a Republican, like now Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, the FBI should get involved and investigate those fully. But when it's Joe Biden's campaign, the investigation should be conducted by the DNC, led by this hack, Tom Perez, if you look at this video, and the Biden campaign. Don't get the FBI or anyone else involved. They may actually discover something. This is, by the way, the head of the DNC. Here's his response to this with, I believe, Martha Raddatz. Check this out.
But why not just search Tara Reade in those documents?
This is like the Hillary emails, because there was nothing there. And the reason is, if I'm going, I worked on the Senate Judiciary Committee in 1995. The ranking member was Joe Biden. I wasn't working for Joe Biden. I was working for Senator Kennedy. If you want to see my personnel records, you don't go to the Kennedy Institute. That's not where they go. And so when you ask the University of Delaware to take a look at something, you're asking them to look for something that doesn't exist. And the fact of the matter is that the president of the United States, the former president, Barack Obama, conducted an exhaustive search.
And that was 2008.
Open book.
There's the head of the DNC. Now you see why the New York Times wants the DNC to investigate, because Tom Perez, the head of the DNC, is already saying, no, we don't need to go to the University of Delaware where Miss Reade's allegations may be. We may get a whole... No, we don't need to do that. Don't worry. Good job, New York Times. Journalism at its finest. But again, New York Times, while you're doing that, recommending the DNC investigate its own people and the FBI investigate everyone else, don't ask the FBI to actually investigate their own malfeasance in the setting up of Mike Flynn because he knew what was happening the whole time. Don't you worry about that. Disgusting. What a rag. Pathetic.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.